에이핑크 화이팅!
화이팅!
에이핑크에게 다음 코너로 고고고!
We all know how hard it is to become a K-pop star. I mean, our faves didn't just wake up one day only to find themselves being showered with immeasurable amounts of love, because before they became worldwide stars, these idols were once trainees who had to sacrifice a lot in order to debut. And by sacrifices, you know what I mean. Slave contracts, strict diets, crazy practice hours, and a lot more. However, this does not end after debut, since in all honesty, it just gets worse. Because now our idols are expected to keep an image in order not to get in trouble, which sometimes would make them suffer from punishment. But still, the number of people aiming to become a K-pop star is massive. So, in case you are wondering if these punishments are even worth it, make sure to keep watching, because I'll be revealing some of the craziest our faves have to endure in order to become the best idol among the rest. Okay, let's get started. Let me start by asking, have you ever wondered why your faves execute every dance move with utmost ease and perfection every single time they perform? It doesn't even matter if they are tired because of their packed schedule, these idols will still look flawless whenever on stage. Let's have Twice, for example. The JYP girl group is well known for their hard dances, but most often than not, the girls will still execute with precise synchronization. However, there is a deeper reason why idols tend to master every choreography they do. And before you start saying anything, let me beat you to it and say it's not just because of practice. Yes, they practice really hard, but there is another story behind their perfect stages. For Twice, the girls revealed a rather shocking story on why they mastered every single move of their comeback songs. In a video with Studio K, Twice was seen going over a choreography when, unfortunately, Sana made a wrong move and was caught red-handed. While fans would think that the members would just tease her because of her mistake, they didn't. Instead, they reminded Sana of their penalty rule and asked her to pay 518,000 Korean won, or approximately $440 to each member. And if you think this is too much, well, the members were generous enough to deduct the taxes. However, this is not the end of it, because Nayeon explained that the amount each member has to pay depends on what kind of mistake they committed. During the post-interview, she said that even small mistakes are worth 518,000 Korean won, or $440, while big mistakes are worth a whopping 1,193,000 Korean won, or a massive $1,000. And while the girls might be half joking when they decided to impose these penalties, it's still very telling about how serious they are when it comes to their performance, and how willing they are to pay the price just to give their fans only the best. Moving on, Twice is not the only group who has to endure these kinds of penalties, because other groups have also suffered serious punishment from their entertainment agencies. And since we all know how bad companies would mistreat their trainees, these stories really have more truth into it. And guys, these revelations are super shocking. Like, you would think most of this only happens in K-dramas, but unfortunately, it's happening in real life. In a video released by AO, two former idol trainees spilled the tea about how real theories about trainee and idol life are. Bin Hanul and Chae Ye-jin shared how trainee life can be super stressful, since aside from the fact that most of them have to endure harsh training every single day, the girls also have to deal with severe punishment from their management. In the video, the two revealed how trainees would end up paying their companies money straight from their own pocket whenever they decide to leave before their trainee contract ends. This is the reason why the two reminded idol aspirants to read their contracts carefully before they sign it. They also shared how hard it is for some idols to earn money even after they debut, since they have to first pay up for their training expenses, which basically are just debts they have to carry. Bin Hana even said that she knew someone who debuted for 4 years but wasn't able to earn a single penny, which is super tragic if you'd ask me. Another thing these idols have to deal with focus on the darker side of K-pop, which involves, sadly, prostitution and sexual harassment. I guess we all know that entertainment companies would sometimes make these young trainees and soon-to-be idols to high-profile people just to get sponsorship, or just for sick reasons they come up with. And since they're trainees, most often than not, are left with no choice, especially if they are tied by a contract. It's just sad to know that something like this happens and is still happening even till today. There was an actual case back in 2017 when a CEO was charged with violating the Act on the Protection of Children and Juveniles from Sexual Abuse, Adultery, Confinement, and Assault. So basically the man assaulted a 17-year-old trainee as well as a 19-year-old trainee at his agency's dorm. What's even worse is that he took their phones and locked them up inside their dorm. Imagine how traumatic it might be for the victims. They're literally teenagers. It even got to the point that he hit them on their head and had the audacity to threaten them with severe punishment if they tell their parents about it. Thankfully, the guy got convicted since he deserves it. Moving on, another thing idols and trainees are getting punished about is their weight. And since we all know how ridiculously high beauty standards are, you can imagine how serious these punishments can be. ITZY's Taeyeon had once revealed that she checked her weight daily, using methods such as measuring her thighs with a tape measure. What's saddening is how she mentioned that there's actually a general guideline for her weight, and if she surpasses that guideline, she would get punished. How are they punished? Well, most idols say that they are put into more rigid diets and workout plans. Some were even told to lose weight in a short amount of time, just like how Momo revealed she was told to lose weight within a week and she doesn't have any choice but to comply. It's just a very hard world out there, and for our faves, things are 3 times harder even though it doesn't seem like it. Last but definitely not the least, most idols had confessed that the worst punishment they got is not anything physical because surprisingly, or maybe not, idols revealed that the way their mental health would hit an all-time low is a killer. Figuratively and for some literally. In a YouTube video released by the Korean Times, Kong Yoo-jin, a former member of Bonus Baby, shared how her depression got so much deeper after she became an idol. Even big stars like BTS, EXO, and many more had become very candid about their mental health since there had been a lot of talk about the topic, even though it's still a very sensitive matter in Korea. And while you might be wondering what K-pop entertainment companies have to do with this, well, they are actually indirectly involved since, come on, they are the ones who implemented strict rules with their idols are told to follow them no matter what. Humans can only handle too much pressure and stress, and at the end of the day, it's expected to pile up and affect them mentally. So when idols start complaining about how they would end up mentally exhausted, I honestly agree that there's nothing as dangerous as a battered mind, and despite how glamorous idol life might be, the truth is it has its own pitfalls that fans should acknowledge and understand. Well, I hope after watching this video, you guys would know how to treat your faves better, and also other idols since they already have too many things on their plate. Let's not make it harder for them, okay? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to give this video a like and stay tuned for more. See you next time.